Welcome to the Jewel Box Theater Round Table for Leading Ladies, which runs November 10th through December 4th. My first question for director Billy Thrash. Ken Ludwig says this play is his favorite, and he has written Lend Me a Tenor and Crazy for You. Why do you think he picked this play?
Well, I think the reason he likes Leading Ladies so much is it incorporates all the things that he studied as a youth. When he was in college, he studied music and he studied history of the theater, and he developed a love of Shakespeare. This was kind of the first time he was able to put it together. And if you really look at any of his works, well, not all of them, but most of them, you'll find that they have a very musical feel to them. And that's why I think he does it. He has a love for it.
Why do audiences always find men dressing as women so funny?
Physicality. I mean, with men and women are built differently, obviously, and there's something about one sex trying to be like the other sex. We do impressions of what we think the other does, and that can be very, very funny. Plus, voices, having to change your voice. It's not just how you look physically, but how you sound. And it can just produce a funny appearance. It's not so much just putting on a dress and a wig, but it's how somebody pretending to be a woman can walk across the stage not quite right.
Dakota, you play Leo, who has to dress as a woman. How does an actor prepare for that?
Well, there are a lot of different ways actors can prepare for that, but myself, I put on a pair of faux leopard-spotted heels at the probably second rehearsal and just went for it. That's really all I can tell you.
Pick which gender bender movie you like best. Victor Victoria, Some Like It Hot, Mrs. Doubtfire, or your choice, and why?
Well, though those are three great picks, I think I'm going to go with Stage Beauty. That was one of my favorite films, starring Billy Crudup as Ed Kinniston playing the Shakespearean female that's no longer allowed to be on the stage.
Tiffany plays Meg, and while the men dress as a woman, you impersonate a Shakespearean male. How fun is that?
It's fun. I've played men before. Of course, I'm playing Meg, who's playing Viola, who's pretending to be a man. So there's a whole lot of layers in there, actually. But it's not like I get to kiss any girls or anything. Like they get to kiss each other, guys. So.
You played Velma in the musical Chicago last season. Don't these farces require much the same energy because they are so fast-paced?
In a way, they do, but Velma has I Can't Do It Alone, which is like the most energy I've ever spent on a stage, so not quite.
Derek is making his Jewel Box debut as Jack. What do you like about theater in the round?
Well, I find it very interesting because as an actor, you're always taught to cheat out to the audience and pay an extra amount of attention to that fourth wall. But in the round, you're inevitably going to have someone facing your back at every point in the show. So it's a challenge in itself to make sure that the whole audience is involved, but at the same time, it gives a lot of freedom to the actors and a lot of interesting perspectives from the audience as well.
Since you play a woman, the same question goes to you. Which gender bender movie do you pick? Victor Victoria, Some Like It Hot, Mrs. Doubtfire, or your choice, and why?
I'm partial to Some Like It Hot simply because it's a classic. It's kind of the standard that set everything else, all these movies that based or were inspired by Some Like It Hot later on, as well as theater such as Leading Ladies. I think it was really the staple of what started this whole gender bender fad.
Lydia is making her Jewel Box debut, also as the character Audrey. Tell us about your character.
Well, she's dumb as rocks, to put it lightly. And she's just a chatterbox in that way, where she talks incessantly and never stops. But that ends up being really good for Leo and Jack when they come on the scene, because she's able to kind of bridge the information that they're going to need in order to take their roles and become these women, because she's the town busybody and she's memorized the dictionary and she just chats all the time. And so they're able to get the information that they need in order to begin the shenanigan.
And once you see Derek dressed as a woman that first time in rehearsal in high heels, how much will you enjoy seeing him go through what women go through?
Oh, I think it's going to be very interesting. I mean, I think he's going to have to handle a lot more than the average woman does, just due to his size and things like that. But I think it's going to be really fun. I think the audience is going to get a lot of laughs from it.
Thank you for taking time for the Jewel Box Roundtable for Leading Ladies, which runs November 10th through December 4th.